Good evening, Mr. President, Mr. Vice President, Mr. County Executive, and members of Council, including my county councilman. My name is Subodh Chandra. I'm a civil rights attorney. I represent victims of discrimination in employment and public accommodations, generally on the basis of race or gender, including victims of sexual harassment. One of the great frustrations of my practice as someone who is trying to protect victims of discrimination, ensure equal protection under the law, and also to ensure that we have rationality in our dealings with one another as citizens, because at the end of the day, that's what civil rights laws are about. One of my frustrations is that when victims of LGBTQ discrimination come to us with terrible injustices, including as recently as a couple of months ago, a woman who faced unbelievable bigotry at a funeral home as she was laying her father to rest by people in that funeral home. One of my great frustrations is having to counsel those folks, you have no remedy under law. Because this is private discrimination based upon LGBTQ status, and you have no remedies under the law, because the people in Washington won't do anything about it, because the people in Columbus won't do anything about it, because they are capitulating to bigotry and have been for a long time. We're a different kind of place, Cuyahoga County. We're a progressive, forward-thinking county, and we should join the other communities around the country who say we are not going to tolerate that kind of bigotry and ignorance here at home, and we are going to protect our citizens. Now, I have a few very quick suggestions about the ordinance. I've studied it, and I think there are ways that it could be improved, whether it's on this round or through amendment. One of them is I'm very concerned about the voluntary status of the 3 commissioners. What is going to happen when you establish this commission is you are going to be deluged with discrimination complaints, many of them without merit, without any evidence in support of them. But you're going to need commissioners who are able to devote the time to go through those complaints and not simply delegate to staff. Delegating to staff is a huge mistake. Yes, you have to do that to organize things, but at the end of the day, it's going to be those commissioners who are going to have to be held accountable, and they're not going to be able to do it unless it's a compensated position. Another concern that I have about the ordinance was mentioned earlier by Professor Becker, and is the issue of the false claim. I really think you should conform this ordinance to the language of the law that you find in other discrimination statutes, which is about frivolity. If somebody brings a complaint that can be shown to be frivolous, the law knows how to deal with that, and there should be appropriate penalties associated with that. But I'm afraid that the current language, I would have to counsel a client to be cautious about bringing a complaint, given the way the ordinance is currently worded. They might still do it, but I would have to caution them because it's uncharted territory and it puts them at risk. And then I'll spare the additional suggestion in the interest of time for, I'll send a letter to council, but I do think there are issues that need to be addressed to sort of fine-tune this ordinance. Finally, I'd like to say this. I've heard a lot this evening, and by the way, this is what democracy looks like. It's a wonderful thing what you're doing here, giving people an opportunity to be heard. There are many political bodies in this county that don't do this, and I commend you for doing it, as fatiguing as it may be. But a lot of what we have heard tonight, make no mistake, is hatred and bigotry and ignorance. And I urge all of you, like the Supreme Court did in Brown v. Board of Education, across party lines, Democratic and Republican appointees tonight, vote as one. Don't let the Cuyahoga County Republican Party, those of you who are Republican members, dominate your thinking and vote for bigotry, because history is going to be the judge. And the video that runs of this years from now, our grandchildren will see who was on the right side of history. Thank you.
Thank you.